Hi everyone, this is Triple T, and today I'm transforming Brontosolid from Kang Toys. I'm going to try to transform it. It is a fairly easy transformation, but if you don't do it in the right order, it can be really frustrating. But I'm going to start with the arm. So fold this up, angle the lower elbow, so you can actually rotate this out and push that in. Line that up with that little tab that you just rotated, which isn't always as easy. You can see there's a tab there and port there, or a slot. Like that. Yup. And if you want to be really, really thorough, you fold the thumb to the side, fold that down so it covers that little piece up. Then do the same thing on the other side. Angle these up and away. They are supposed to go behind now. And they do have a little niche for it. That doesn't mean it's easy, but it does work. Fold these little grey piece forward and down. Like so. Remove the backpack, and now it's actually stable again. Yay! I'm gonna fold these away for now. Underneath here, you have two ports, and the lower port is now for the dino leg. Like that. Do the same thing on the other side. Fold the chest forward, and push the head in, close the chest back up. I usually fold these a bit forward because it's easier to just do everything you need, but that is not necessary unless you're going into combine mode. This plate comes up and rotates to the side like that, so you have this little hinge upwards and outwards, like so. Fold these sides out, and this golden thing will just go out, and you will tab it together. And this is a bit of flimsy plastic that later on is going to hold the foot together, or leg together, but it works. You can rotate this so you just get it out of the way for now, because now we're going to rotate these. Yeah. Rotate that down like so. And rotate this up and out to the side. Rotate that upwards. Hinge this downwards. So you have that looking somewhat like that. And then you rotate the neck. And now that is all done. I'm going to put it like that so everything is just, well, looks like it should. I'm going to push these up because we're going to attach the shield here later on. Or the butt plate rather, sorry. But now the front of him is, well, not done, but still. Fold this out. Rotate at that very, very stiff joint. Have it like that for now. Now these are going to tab into these, and that is not as easy as it sounds. We have to angle a lot of things here. This is going into there, and these are going into here, and you want to do the middle part first, so it just sits there, and then we can actually pull these out and tab these in. If you don't want to tab these in right now because you're afraid of breakage, like I am, you can do these pieces later on. When you've gotten those in, you come to the legs and try to straighten things out before you do anything else, because this will be a pain if you don't. These are supposed to just fold up into the body. you can do it, I think, this way. No, you couldn't. Strange. Like that. So you have them out of the way. You can have them in different configurations, but I like to have them in here just so they don't break or fall off or something stupid like that. So now we're going to do the feet. And on the inside, you have a tab that you're going to loosen up and just rotate backwards. That allows you to rotate the leg to the outside. Yay. You fold the foot out and you multi-hinge this piece of foot in and then close that up and then rotate it around. This piece comes up and just stays above that. Now we're going to utilize the inner knee joint first. Then we're going to use the other knee joint just to get some room. And we need to fold everything at the same time. If you want to, you can just angle the foot a bit out so you have some clearance. But after a while, you do need to actually stop that because you need to pull everything to the right place. And now we are getting somewhere. Tab the legs together like so. And now we need to angle them at the little joint inside of, well, the hip. So you can actually get high enough to tab them into these gold pieces. Hinge these forward and tab them into the legs. And if you don't get the right angle, it's because you haven't felled them properly upwards. And there you have him in his alt mode. Now I'm going to try to transform him into combine mode. And I say try because even though it's fairly simple, it's not. And that sounds strange, of course, but I'm gonna try to show you why during this transformation. I'm gonna start by folding everything onto itself so we have less things to play around with because, well, trust me, you want to have less things to play around with. Close the mouth if you haven't already. And scooch the head forward as far as you can and fold that down. And this is actually how you want that looking when you push it into that very little port. Yeah. So come back here, do the same thing. And if something collides, just turn it to the side. And here you want to it looking like that, which is kind of difficult to get. But as you can see, we have just cut off his extremities here, and I couldn't be happier, to be quite honest. Lift these up. Rotate the legs so you can actually pull these red ones off. And you don't, like that. And unhinge this big shield. Fold everything in on itself. And just have it hanging to the side like that. Fold these up. And rotate this piece upwards, because this is gonna go onto here in a little while. So we need it to be down. You can just put those to the side. Rotate these side pieces and scooch them forward, because you want them on here. Just because I had that, I can do that with this as well, I think. You want them like that. Lift this up and hinge everything up in front. And that is how you want that looking. Now, you have to undo these legs a bit. Fold that down. And hinge the hand out. Be mindful so you don't break any fingers, because, yeah, that's something you do all the time on this one. And again, I have the wrong joint. You're supposed to bend this one, not that one, because otherwise you won't get that in. And when you do have that in, you can just bend the hand outwards and tab that in. And you can prep that upwards for now, because we're going to extend both of these. So we actually get that up there. And it's going to actually tab, well, not tab, but it's going to go in there. So it's quite a nice package. Go ahead and rotate it to the correct spot. And to get it there, we need to untab this little peg that is in there. And we need to move it to the upper position, like that. And now, if we are really lucky, this will just line up. And everything will just sit where it should. And it looks like it does. Very nice. Now, go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. Move these forward so it sticks out in front of its chest. And that is because you need all the space you can ever muster down here. Come to the legs. Fold them forward like that. Hinge them in, and that little red piece is gonna go into that port. This... Firstly, that is going to go all the way around. And that is how you want that sitting. I know it looks strange, but trust me, this is how you want things looking. And I'm gonna do that again. Now we are almost done. I say almost because the most difficult part is still here, but it is not much to do. So these are gonna angle down, like so. They're on a peg up here, so they are quite stiff. Stuck in there, or whatever you would call it. Now you can actually see that it can, this is a leg mode. Right. Now we're gonna focus. You see these go up, but they're not going to when we're done, but for now they are actually going to go up all the time, which is very annoying. We're going to focus on getting these into those. And yeah, I need to take a breather because now the fun starts. And now we can see why we need those back. You have to have these in, and there is a specific side for each piece. And this is supposed to be upwards, so it makes a nice knee. And this is actually gonna go and be thread in here. Yes, it looks impossible and it feels impossible, and it probably is impossible. But that is how we're gonna do this. When you've gotten those in, if you have, congratulations. Fold these out to the sides. There are ports in here that's going onto these, so try to line that up. And you need to have these very much down. But as you can see, nothing lines up, and this is why I consider Kang Toys to be evil. I mean, truly, truly evil. I'm gonna break this soon, because this is so infuriating and wrong, and I just don't like this toy at all anymore. Trust me, this is evil, pure evil. I mean, I take any QC issues that X-Transbot will give me any day of the week rather than this. This is just horrible. Horrible, 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 horrible. But there you have it. In combined mode. Now we're going to transform it into bot mode. Untab that. Untab it from down here if you haven't already. These hinge up and tab in to here. On both sides, of course. Like that. You can probably just pull these out. Like so. And we are good to go. We are going to rotate these legs to the outside just so we can do a rotation of the little knee here. So let's do that. Then we come down to this piece. And before we start doing anything with turning things in and stuff like that, let's do this little foot by doing this multiple hinges again. Like so. Close that up. Yeah, rotate it around, of course. This is going to come down. And we're going to fold this in. Rotate this all the way up and in. And lastly, you want to just tab this into its little piece here. And that is only doable if you haven't tilted the foot too much. Come to the crotch piece, fold that down, and hinge these down if you want to have them hanging down. These are supposed to hang down like that. Crotch piece comes in. I like to have them up a bit because then I don't need to see those hinges because I don't think they look very nice. Fold these gold pieces in, untab this gold piece. And fold them back. And just have that be a little butt flap down there. Now we're getting somewhere. The arms are fairly easy to do. Make sure you're in the upward position. Open these up and angle the arms out. Like so. And out and down. Why doesn't it want to go where it should? This is supposed to be felled forward like that. So it is less of an obtrusion towards the inside there. And if you haven't already, you can fold these back onto themselves like so. So you have those just sitting on his little arms like that. Yay. Get his chest out. Fold his little head up on that strange thing that doesn't really tab in. Push the chest back. It should tab in. And hinge these back. And now we just got the backpack. And I can tell you I'm sweating again. Rotate these around. Tab that into the back of the neck, or whatever you would call it. Now, these again, if you're going to turn them, you have to support the weight here. Because these are, in my book, a very thin piece of plastic for doing something as horrible as actually rotating these pieces. You can also fold it out twice. It will just make everything a bit sturdier to fold. Like that. Now we're going to extend these. That's going out twice. Fold up everything on the way. And now we're ready to do the same thing on the other side. No, stay where you should. Thank you. And lastly, I like to plug this in because that holds everything together. On the back, that is. And when you've finally gotten that backpack on, you have him in robot mode. And my god, that was a hassle.